I will say that, just so you know, that Mormon women were actually the very first women to vote in the country. Wyoming granted the right for women in their territory to vote. And then very soon after, Utah granted women the right to vote. And Utah women were actually the very first ones to actually cast a ballot in the state, in the United States.
Mm.
But the federal government granted them that right because they thought that the women would all vote against polygamy, because they'd be like, oh, well, they're all oppressed, so they'll all go vote against polygamy if we give them the right to vote. However, the exact opposite happened, because these women were like, no, we're going to defend our way of life and our religion come hell or high water. And so they used their vote to support polygamy and the patriarchs. It's a very fascinating thing. There's a really great book called A House Full of Females by Laurel Thatcher Ulrich, if anyone out there is like a history nerd and wants to read about that.
Yeah,
And
I think I might grab that because I really, really, really want to cover Handmaid's Tale on this show, and that'd be a great companion piece, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly enough, well, yeah, you actually do address that. You have the character of Prudence. She, like, when Hazel says, I really want to play the piano, that's what I like to do. She goes, wow, you should meet, I can't remember the lady's name.
Yeah, Emmeline B. Wells.
Thank you, Emmeline. You would love Emmeline. She's like, oh, is that the, is that your, I can't remember. I'm so sorry.
She thinks it's okay. There's a lot of Mormon terms. She's like, oh, is that like Relief Society?
Exactly,
That's the
yeah,
women's
yeah.
organization.
Yeah, she's like, is it like Relief Society where we talk about our thing? And she goes, no, it's the suffrage movement. I'm like, what? But yeah, I wrote here that they want it for the worst possible reason, because they want to defend their right to be plural wives. And like, it reminds me of, the women in Iran marching to take away their own rights. It reminds me of The Handmaid's Tale, where the enforcers are women with cattle prods, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting contradiction, and there's just a lot of different experiences in polygamy. And so one of the reasons why I have Prudence do that, and you also have another character, Flora and Abby, who all kind of have different personalities, they all represent different interpretations of polygamy that people actually lived.